Willie D Live.
Right, I kind of blacked out, man. What's your thoughts on this election, man? You know, are
Wait,
you?
so I want to cover something real quick, right? So when I started, before I go into election, right, I want to talk about like the self work I had to do. So this is when I started to shift my mindset, right? And this is when I started developing my mantra: how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you, right? And then I started, creating my own philosophies and ideologies, right? And one of those things was, what worries you masters you, right? What worries you masters you. So whatever you worry about becomes your master, right? What you worry about, and to worry, you're gonna in order to worry, you have to subconsciously, repetitiously think about the same thing, the same fear, the same bully, the same obstruction, the same roadblock over and over and over and over again. So I had to be aware of, you know, what I worried about started to become my master. So I started to remove worry out of my life and then became more present. And these are the things that, started to help me develop a strong, a strong way of thinking, and help me with my mental fortitude, right? Next thing is being intentional and being purposeful, right? So it's almost like our deeds are the clothes in God's court when we die, and our actions are the lawyers for our soul in that same court, right? So I believe that while we're here, we have to do our best to be righteous. We have to do our best to add value, right? And the value that we add here will be the value added to us in the hereafter when we leave here. So this is why I say the actions are the lawyers for your soul in God's court when you die. So every deed is like testimony. And when we all leave here, we all want Johnny Cochran in God's court in the sky for representing us. Okay, he got OJ off, he gonna get us off. Okay. And then the next thing is, and this is all like the mindset I was cultivating in prison. Once I made that pivot, once I got that inspiration from God, once I got the inspiration from God, this was my pivots, right? Next thing is goals and deadlines. And we have to have goals and deadlines. Set a goal, then put all your energy in reaching that deadline. My first goal for myself was to educate myself, was to get a GED. I got my GED in prison. The furthest my education went was 8th grade, right? So now I'm studying philosophy, Socrates, Machiavelli, Sigmund Freud, John Locke, right? I'm tapping in, right? And I have this goal of increasing my intelligence. I had this goal of increasing my knowledge base. And then I set deadlines. I said, okay, I got 90 days to learn this information, master it, and then apply it to myself, and then learn only the lessons I could learn from the application of the knowledge, which turns into experiences, because experience is the best teacher. Now I created a school filled with teachers created by my experiences that I had from applying the knowledge that I started reading. Even being in prison, being limited physically, but I had no limits mentally. So I started meditating. I started writing down affirmations. I started figuring out how to write plans for my future, how to create business plans. So that was important. And then understanding the sacrifices associated with reaching a deadline for the goals that you set. Had to have sacrifices. So even in prison, I stopped messing with the short eyes, which is the pussy magazines. I stopped, going to the yard unless I was working out. I gave up TV. I didn't look at any magazines. I started writing the SBA, which was the Small Business Association, and I found that they had development centers all over the states of America, and I would reach out and correspond with them. Then I got them to send me textbooks, old textbooks from colleges, and I started converting my prison sentence into a college attendance. And then now I'm using this time solely to develop myself.